Hello everyone! This video is divided into 3 parts. The first part is going to be me explaining how to create a Discord bot through Discord's developer portal. The second part is going to be a walkthrough on how I integrated the Bay Area Rapid Transit API into that Discord bot. Then in the third part, I'll give you my thoughts on whether or not Central Contra Costa BART stations should be implemented and propose potential solutions to encourage public transportation within that area. Timestamps will be provided, so feel free to jump from part to part. And with that, let's go to part 1. All links mentioned in this video will be provided in the description, so feel free to utilize that information. If you don't already have a Discord server to host the bot, or if you don't have a Discord account, go ahead and create one. Once on Discord's developer portal, navigate to the application tab, and in the top right, click where it says new application. Give it a title, and then under settings, click the puzzle piece that says bot. This is where we're actually going to create the bot. So click add bot. As I do value consistency, I feel that it is appropriate to give this bot a sophisticated profile image of a train, since I'm dealing with a transit system here. The next thing you want to do is paste this link into a URL, and where it says client ID, paste your bot's client ID. Select the server to add the bot to, verify that you're a human, and the bot should be added. The bot exists in the server, but it doesn't really do anything, so to make it do something, we have to add some code to it. I'm going to open Visual Studio and drop the package of code that I've already written. If you'd like to do the same and follow along with me, I've posted the BartBot package to GitHub, and that is also in the description. Just download the zip and extract the folder from there, and you should be good. Once the folder is in Visual Studio Code, we have to link the bot, so go back to the Discord developer portal, and under the bot tab, click Reset Token. The token is super important and you don't want to reveal it to anyone, otherwise people who have access could do malicious things to it. So here's my token. Copy the bot's token and paste it into the .env file on Visual Studio Code. This will tell the bot that it is now friends with the code. So right now the bot is still offline, but to get it online we just have to run that code. Open up your command prompt, direct the prompt to the BartBot folder and type nodebot.js. Now if we go back to Discord, the bot status is now online and we can start using it. The main thing I want to show you is how the bot works, so I'm going to give you some examples of commands that I would run. If I run .bart Balboa Park, it will return the departure times at Balboa Park Station. If I run .bart Balb, it will do the same thing. Another return type is incorrect station names. If I run .bart Bald, it will return an invalid station name because there is no such station called Bald. The last return type is when there are no trains currently running at a particular station. For example, .bart Antioch. Usually this happens if a station is closed or if it's like 2 a.m. and the conductors are asleep. Okay, to sum that up real quick so that way me and you both have a clear understanding of this topic before moving forward. If BART station open, BART train work. If BART station closed, BART train no work. And if you mistype BART station no exist. Alright, I believe that does it. Let's continue. Now that we have some insight on these return types, I'm going to try my best to explain the code. So if you go over to Bart.js in Visual Studio, you'll see this custom object that I wrote titled stations. Stations has 2 arrays, which are station abbreviations and station names. Just below that, in this if statement, if a user types in a full station name, it will convert it to a station abbreviation. The way it does this is by finding the position in the station name array and mapping it to the abbreviation array. If a user types in a station abbreviation, the abbreviation will stay as an abbreviation. Therefore, no need to find the position in either of the arrays. Now, the reason why we need the abbreviation over the full station name is because to get access to the station data, the URL must contain a specified station abbreviation. And that's just the way the BART JSON data is organized. So in this link down here, you'll notice I have that money sign with keywords inside the curly brackets. This is how we run the user input directly to the JSON URL. Essentially, the user will type in a station they want, and then it will return the JSON data from that particular station. From this point, it's all about correct pathings. So for this bot specifically, remember that when we typed in the command .bartbalb, it returned the departure times. So if we want to see the departure times directly from the station JSON data, this is how we can path to it. We check it. If the BART JSON data contains an estimated time departure, or ETD, then we know BART trains are currently running through that BART station. Since Balboa Park does have an ETD, we know that station is working. After the ETD check, we look under the estimated array, and we grab the first departure time data. And depending on how many trains are coming to a station, we can use a for loop that runs through the length of ETD. In the example of Antioch, which the abbreviation is ANTC, you'll see that ETD does not exist in the JSON object, thus there are no BART trains going through Antioch Station. And Thomas knows this. Look at him go. To conclude this explanation, I want to let you know something. The reason why I created this bot is because I wanted to solve something. I wanted to solve the way my community interacts with the transit system. By starting up my own Discord server that revolved around this Bay Area Rapid Transit bot, it made connecting with people a lot easier because it was one of the many things that we could all relate to. Another benefit to integrating the Trains API into Discord is that it also became more convenient because I wouldn't have to switch applications. But enough about Bart. Bart isn't the only one. Wherever you live, if your local transit system has a public API, you can use it to pull data from their database and use it in whatever coding endeavors you want to pursue. The beauty of this is that coding these types of bots not only challenges your way of thinking about data, but it's also a great real-world example of how this type of data is used in thousands of people's daily lives. Without data, these trains would be uncoordinated, crashes would probably happen more frequently, and overall the use of the transit system would decline if there isn't a form of consistency that people can rely on. By using public transportation, people put themselves in the hands of that system with the intention of getting to a destination. Data is like the universal background of essentially everything, so I encourage you, find whatever public API transit system in your vicinity and try to make something out of it. Create something. Anything.
Oh boy, that was a lot. Oh my gosh. This is gonna mark the conclusion of the first two parts of this video, but stick around because there's still one more part to this. I would sort of like to diverge from the topic of coding and give you my thoughts on the idea of central Contra Costa BART stations. There's not going to be a rigorous format to this, but more so just a place where I can toss my ideas out there. So with that, let's go right into part 3.
The Bay Area Rapid Transit System is a vital component in people's daily lives, and I strongly believe that BART has done a phenomenal job at unifying the different regions of the Bay Area. I mean, people in Antioch can work in San Francisco, students from San Leandro can attend school in Berkeley, and having a resource that doesn't involve cars, gas, or traffic, not that I'm looking at the gas prices, BART lives up to the definition and purpose of a modern-day train. Just to give you some insight on BART's current situation, as many of you may know, over the past 2 years, COVID has been detrimental to many businesses across the United States, and public transportation is no different. BART, among the many others, has seen a significant decrease in the number of people using its system. To give you some perspective, pre-pandemic ridership reports in the summer of 2019 show that just around 10 million people were using BART on a monthly average. Mid-pandemic, only 2 million per month, an 80% decrease. While BART is still picking up the pieces left from the wreckage of COVID, it's only reasonable to ask the question, what will BART look like in the future? Many times I have thought to myself, why aren't there BART trains running through central Contra Costa? Because the East Bay Coast and San Francisco Northern Peninsula area are mostly considered as big cities, the BART is given a valid stigma where wherever it is, the city people will follow. Thus, having a luxury area with little public connections, such as the pocket of Contra Costa, the region sort of creates a new identity of people and conspicuously separates outside identities. The phrase, "I live in the Bay Area," becomes subjective because of the vast differences seen among some regions of the Bay, sort of like boroughs in New York City or objects in a class. Rapid transit expansion is dynamic. It unifies cities, which brings cultural diversity, a conditional statement that represents the face value of expansion. But at the same time, it anchors diversity, misconceptualizing independent identity. Connections can penalize. If BART connected these luxury areas to the bigger cities, there could be a regional homicide with major infrastructural changes, and residents within the pocket of Contra Costa would allegedly fabricate a new identity. Although expansion is necessary in the broader scope of things, I believe that knowing when to expand and how to execute it is above all the most important. I don't think it is appropriate to capitalize on cities that already have their own identity with no benefit to expansion, but this is why it must be thoroughly thought out before changes manifest. In short, no, I don't think Central Contra Costa should have BART stations, but transportation within that area can definitely be improved. In essence, I want to sort of nudge my way into some solutions that could benefit Central Contra Costa while still keeping their identity frame. If there was a communal user system where a particular user who is in the possession of a Clipper account traveled more than 1,000 miles a month, there should be some type of cost reduction for that user. I know Bart is still facing the backlash of COVID and money for them is incredibly tight, but if there was a margin where the amount of people traveling supersedes the cost per ride, losing out on the cost per ride could gain the number of people. Another idea is a Contra Costa transit rail system, not necessarily tied to BART, but sort of like a muni system with linear stations that connect the cities within Contra Costa. To differentiate people, only those who reside in Contra Costa County can enter the train through a Clipper card setting. If systems like these were implemented, I would imagine that Contra Costa and its residents would maintain their identity while still expanding upon the intended foundation BART has embedded within the Bay Area. But even as solutions start to rise to the surface, it makes me curious. What would the Bay Area look like if BART took over all the regions of the Bay and all cities of the Bay? Any petitions to make loops? Guess not.
If you learned something or just enjoyed watching, leave a like or comment, and if you want to see more content like this, you should definitely subscribe. My social media handles such as Instagram and Discord will be linked in the description, so feel free to message me whenever. That's going to do it for this video. Till next time. Bye!